This is for amputations.
Oh my God! That's the real.
Yeah. If you were going to cut an arm
Yeah.
off, you wouldn't just use a saw. You would start off with a knife like this,
Okay.
and you would cut, and because it's curved, you would cut around and
Oh.
around on both sides to go through the muscle and the flesh,
Okay.
and then you would use the saw to go through the bone.
नमस्ते सबैलाई आज भने हामी अचानक यो 1780 तिर ताकाको यो क्याम्पहरु मा आइपुगेका छौं फ्रेन्च Napoleon अनि के what's that arrows another one Germanic
including
Prussia Polish तिनीहरुको चाहिँ एराको क्याम्पमा आइपुगेका छौं हामी यो क्याम्पको बारेमा यहाँको सहभागीहरुसँग बुझ्ने छौं सोध्ने छौं अनि केही कुराहरु देखाउने छौं
David's experience. David's just going to show you again how to do it on the bar. Okay?
जान पनि मार्छ नि We are at Nepolionic weekend camp here, and Eros is going to explain about Napoleonic. Hello, Eros.
It's related to Napoleon, who was the great French leader of the French
Napoleon.
Revolution. Yes, Napoleon was a great general who created a giant empire by leading France.
Okay.
At some point, he decided to entrench onto Russian soil.
Okay.
But due to it being winter, he then lost his entire empire to the rest of Europe. And then he was banished to an island. Although he briefly tried to return to France, he was abolished to another island. And then on that island he died.
What do you call that one?
A guillotine. A device
guillotine.
used to cut off people's heads, usually for criminals.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Potipot, East Essex. Another camp is down there. One camp is here. 42 Regiment of Foot. French Revolution. Let's see what they're cooking. Female. Real kitchen down there.
This is the French Brigade campsite here at Fort Amherst. So the streets of the French campsite would typically be A-frame tents.
Yeah.
When the French used tents, of course, which is a rarity during the period. And then you would have fires, and then behind the fires you would have a row of NCO tents. So the hierarchy goes soldiers, NCOs, and then officers. Keep going like that. But the French very rarely used tents on campaign because they were always on the move.
Kitchen, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is everything that's inside the backpack. Obviously not the basket.
Okay.
That's just keeping it a little bit tidy.
So
But,
what are they actually?
Lots of different things. So in olden times, same as in the modern day soldier, a lot of his time is spent cleaning his kit. Yeah?
Oh, rifle cleaning
So
kits.
I guess so.
polissage de metal, polishing the metals.
Early, isn't it?
All right, we have some Tripoli paste in there, which is like a really fine silica. So that mixed with water, and you'll use a small rag or whatever, and you can polish the metals on your gun,
Okay.
or you can polish the brass on your shako plates. Okay. There's for polishing your buttons. You have a button stick, yeah. So that you slide that on your
Barry?
Oh,
your
that's
dirty buttons like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It protects the material, so you can polish up there. A little bit of white spirit or turpentine and
all right.
on there, and we just polish. These ones are well past it. They need a little bit of
Okay.
white spirit on there. But these little sticks, again, it's just for getting in all the nooks and crannies on your musket for cleaning. So this isn't a real musket, but just getting
Okay.
rags and polishing
Oh,
amongst all
okay.
the springs and whatnot with those.
That's a real gun, isn't it?
That's not no. A real musket, the decommissioned one here.
Oh, that's the real one.
It is. It's decommissioned. This one won't fire,
Okay.
so you can handle it.
Okay.
So, but this is the real thing here. Okay, so there's a modern day bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different. So 100. They were around in the Boer War,
Yeah.
First World War. You know, this type of cartridge with a brass casing, very aerodynamic conical bullet. Yeah, and obviously that flies through the air as it's spinning from a rifle, because of the rifle has the grooves going down the barrel. When it's shot, the bullet will spin and makes it a lot more accurate. Yeah. So a sniper rifle, 1,000 meters, a kilometer away, you've got a good, in the telescopic sight, you've got a good chance of taking out a target in the forehead at about a kilometer. A 200-year-old technology. Your bullets look a bit like that. You know, all it is, that's just a tube of paper. Heard of cartridge paper? You buy cartridge paper? Well, sometimes paper you buy. It's really the weight of the paper. So your typical printer paper is the weight of cartridge paper. Yeah. So we cut a piece to the right sort of shape. There we go. Yeah, misprint job.
Okay.
So it's cut to a shape like that, and then it's rolled on a simple stick. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
It
Okay.
rolled up. You push the end in the little dimple at the end,
Okay.
and create a tube like that. Okay. The bullet is a musket ball.
Is that metal or
This
stone?
is lead. These are lead balls. Okay. And they're originals.
Oh, it's heavy.
This one is made more recently, as you can see.
This is a nice one.
When they come out, this is a mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pour the molten lead into the hole.
Okay.
You let the mold cool down,
Yeah.
and then when you open it,
That will come out like that
the
one.
ball will come out. You snip off the little jaggy bit with that.
Okay.
And it gives you a musket ball. But yeah, you see these ones are that colour there because these are original musket balls. They're from the battlefield at Waterloo.
So that goes in that That hole
It
there.
would do, yeah. But
Oh.
these are original 200-year-old balls from Waterloo battlefield.
Oh my god, that.
And if you notice, there's two different sizes.
Yeah, one is big, one is small.
Yeah. So this is a British bore, the bore of the Brown Bess musket.
Okay.
And this is the French .92 caliber for the French musket.
So which one is the most effective, like accurate?
Neither's better than the other. The English would argue that the heavier ball had more power, but if that's going, say, half as fast
Yeah.
again,
And the part.
Newton's
farther.
half mv squared, it's got as much energy.
Yeah.
So it depends on the charge down the barrel. But the British musket ball won't go down a French musket.
Oh.
Because of different size.
So you don't use it like that.
So
Okay.
the caliber of the British musket, the Brown Bess, is a little bit wider. So if a British soldier ran out of ammunition and he found a dead Frenchman,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't-
he got
you
his
cannot
cartridge
use-
box, he could use his ammunition quite fine. Not the other way around.
Not
The
the other way,
French
yeah.
couldn't use British ammunition. But yeah, so the musket ball goes down into the cartridge first. That sits in the bottom, and then a charge of powder using a funnel. A charge of powder will go down
Okay.
into there, and when you've done that, you just pinch it, fold it over, and you have a cartridge. Yeah. So the soldier would be standing at attention, French gardez-vous. Okay. Porte arm, carry the arm. This is the arm. This is your bra. Okay. French arm bra. Okay. But you carry the arm like this, and when you're training, the sergeants, the corporals would teach the soldiers to load their weapons in 12 moves. Okay? So charger en 12 temps. Yeah? First order, charger arm, and we do a little move like this. Turn here, turn the musket in, grab it, drop it. This sort of height. Okay, so not down here.
No.
Slash playing his guitar, no.
No. It'd be pretty difficult.
It's up here, okay. Ouvre le bâtonnet, so it open with the hammer, okay. We bring the arm in between the musket, because remember we're standing close together. If we do this, it starts moving things around, yeah? So in between, we take out one of the cartridges, pretend it's folded over, to here, tear it off, bring it down, amorcer, which means to prime the pan, so put a little bit of powder in the pan, okay.
Not all.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Fermer le bastonnet. Okay. Bring the hand to here. Arm a gauche so that we tip it vertically so we don't knock the hat of the guy from front. Turn round like this. Shoulders square. With some support in the musket there. And then drop it down. Not too heavily. Down there. Cartouche dans le canon. So we empty the gunpowder in. And remember the ball is in the bottom of here. That goes down last, squinched inside the paper. Okay?
Alright, so the cartridge is...
The gunpowder's first, and then the paper with the lead ball in it is on top. Okay?
Alright.
Then we tire la baguette, turn, head of a baguette, a French stick, yeah? It's a French stick. Okay? And then bourrée, which is to ram twice. You hear that?
Yeah.
It's not only it's decommissioned, but that's telling you that's an empty gun, metal on metal. Okay, and then remettez la baguette. We're going to put the ramrod back. One, turn it, control it, back down the hole. Here, porte arm, 2, 3, back to that position. So it's loaded. The main charge, the bullet on top, and there's some powder in there. Okay. So, ready, aim, fire. Apprete, ready. Put it onto full cock. You heard of something going off half cocked as an expression? That went as an English expression, it went off half cocked. It means it fired, it went off, you didn't want it to, okay? So, when I hit the trigger, when it's at resting, it shouldn't fire. Here, I hit trigger, it'll go like that. This hasn't got a flint in it.
Yeah, that's why it's tossing down there.
It's a decommissioned. See, there is no touch hole here.
Yeah, that's not
so
tossing.
you can't fire this gun. So the flint hits the metal, creates sparks. Sparks land in the pan.
Yeah.
Set off a flash. And there is a little touch hole in it.
Already you put that one, yeah?
In a firing
Little bit,
weapon.
yeah.
The flame, some of the flame comes out, but a little bit goes through the hole, sets off the main charge, will
And
bang, and the
that
projectile
fires,
will fire. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we do learn charging, loading in faster, and then at a voluntary
Yeah.
speed.
And
But
nowadays,
as you can see, everyone asks how many shots can you get off a minute? How fast can you load?
where's that order? Just nowadays bullet gone? No, I mean just a long one. Just
How you doing, Snook? It was there a second ago. That'd be annoying if I lost it. Has it fallen on the floor?
Oh, yeah, it's falling apart.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
this one,
Yeah.
this one arrows, yeah.
Yes. Well,
This there will be that small thing,
yes. Well.
yeah. Firing pin hits that one,
Yes.
so that charge will just burn here,
Yes.
and that will just this will come out. This will just fly away.
So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of it's like a cap gun cap
Yeah.
behind there, fulminate of mercury, which pop,
Yeah,
and that sets off the main charge, which is cordite.
yeah.
So in a modern
Yeah.
bullet is charged with cordite.
Yeah.
We use
This is a
black-
drill round only arrow, so it doesn't. This look at this.
Yeah, it's-
That's already that down there. That's a drill round only. Yeah.
this one.
DG. Look. That there should be some RG. Yeah.
Yes.
So pop that. But yeah, cordite is a more modern explosive, as Alexander Nobel invented nitroglycerin and developed dynamite, and also cordite. So most modern weapons are fired using cordite.
All right.
Black powder makes lots of smoke and flame.
Yeah.
And
It
but
makes
it's
plus.
easy to see.
It makes plus and it's small.
much
still-
less, much less smoke.
Yeah. Less
And
smoke.
much more powerful.
Yes.
All right.
Many times more powerful than gunpowder.
Yeah.
That explodes. Gunpowder just burns fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that powerful means that will kick you here
Yeah.
hard. But that one still that kicks, but not that one, because how much you use? Look at this. How big size of that cartridge?
We don't
you know.
fill it up.
Look,
That-
yeah.
that's-
Yeah. You are using half like this one, but
that's the size.
Yeah.
That's the size. Of
yeah.
the
But look at that.
charge we use.
Look at that. This one and this one size. Look. Yeah, that's nearly double, isn't it?
But that is a lot more powerful.
Yeah, that's because of the tunnel, small tunnel.
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
And a smaller projectile going
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
It goes twice the speed. How many times the energy?
Yes.
Yeah. It would go much faster.
Twice the speed, 4 times energy. Square
Yes.
law, Newton.
Ah.
Half mg squared.
All
How's it
right.
Newton?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice.
Well, they changed sides. The British are funding them at that point. So I'm a militiaman. So I'm possibly a volunteer, maybe a conscript. I've been called up to service.
He is
Yeah,
a
militia means-
military at the moment, but this German fellow here,
Yeah.
would be German. He is on our side.
I'm from Hesse-Kassel, but Hesse-Kassel, along with Braunschweig, Hanover, part of Prussia, was all made into a kingdom that only existed for 6 years.
Oh.
Napoleon took over some of the land
Yeah.
and created a country called the Königreich Westphalen, the Kingdom of Westphalia. And it was made out of several different German countries. And they had their own uniform.
Whose
It's like a
king
French
happened
uniform.
to be a relative of Napoleon.
Yeah, but
Well, it's
mainly
even
in
more
white.
confusing when Westphalia is also a region of Prussia, because it's what they also call that area, but sort of a bit in. It's very confusing. Basically, German doesn't really mean anything in particular. It sort of varies a bit. So I'm Prussian. I'm actually probably Polish or Czech, because I'm a Silesian, and Silesia is a region that sort of is southeast Germany, southwest Poland, and Czechia. So I'm possibly not even German speaking. So I'm in a non-German army, possibly German, fighting against the French. Basically, That's-
I
And
completely
sometimes other
lost
Germans.
track.
and sometimes other Germans, yes, because the Germans also fought with the French.
I've completely lost track, but
That's
thank
fine. Everyone does.
So, what about that? You carrying things? Could you just explain that things, please? And then
Oh, of
your
course.
uniform.
So this is my blanket roll. This is how I carry my blanket, and it's also quite good against swords.
Wow.
And I wear it like that. I'm wearing a French pack because I've captured it.
Okay.
Because they weren't issued it.
Okay.
So I captured it. I'm carrying a British box. I did get issued this. So I'm carrying my cartridge like that.
Okay.
That is my own water bottle because I'm not issued it.
Oh, that's not alcohol. I was thinking
No,
alcohol.
well, maybe.
Okay.
I'm,
Whiskey.
I'm carrying a French gun because
Okay.
I've captured this.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wearing a Prussian uniform of a Mutzer, and then my coat is called the Litevka. But I'm very issued very little.
Yeah.
This
So-
is all my own. They
Yeah.
were meant to be, and they normally did do. But unfortunately, when you raise the Prussian army, which is what was sort of already fighting,
Yeah.
there was about 120, 150,000 of them. The reserves, so reserve is like a territorial army,
Yeah.
sort of second line. They were raised. There was another couple 100,000 of them. Then you get to the land there. It was about another 150,000 of them raised in 6 months over initially, and then you get more over the period. That's quite a lot of people to find uniforms for.
Yeah.
So they sort of ran out of ideas. They sort of kept throwing things. The British were sending a lot of money. They were sending £2 or £3 million every couple of months at one point.
And there was
Just
a
to
trick that Napoleon told Prussia, you can only have a small army. You can only have a certain number of soldiers at once. So they would call men up, train them in the basic fighting techniques, send them home so they were off the list, then call up more men, train them, send them home. So when the war came in 1813, they could call all the people they trained back all at once, but they never had a big number because they would train them and send them home. So they got round having a small number by training men and then dismissing them again.
And particularly in 1813, but at this point the Prussians have been forcibly allied or occupied by the French for 6-7 years. They were quite angry.
So that time, French was very powerful and just capturing everywhere.
Well, yeah, at the peak in 1811, I guess.
1809,
Okay.
That sort of period. So you've got a peak, and the Prussians changed sides basically overnight, along with a couple other different countries. And so when the line gets called up, everybody gets called up, and so some the land there weren't given uniforms. They were just given have a gun. Some were given full kit. It depended very much where you were, and over time. So my sort of uniform is sort of probably going to be March 1815.
Okay.
So I've been on campaign for a couple of years. I'm a seasoned soldier. I've got captured kit, and I sort of know what I'm doing. And at Waterloo, we have accounts from the French where they are genuinely quite scared of the Prussians, because they know that the Prussians really, really don't like them. And Plan Saint-Noir, which is the rear of the French line at Waterloo, the regular line gets sent in, and then the young guard gets sent in, and then parts of the old guard get sent in, and they can't hold it. That's how many Prussians and how angry they were, how vicious it was. Street to street, house to house. And part of it was the land there. These were third line, not really trained troops, but they absolutely were good soldiers.
All right. Thank you so much for your explanation and letting us know. Thank you.
So, may I wonder where your camp is in this
I'm
area?
camped down there, just by the display area. There's not very many of us, but we've got a Prussian artillery piece, so a cannon, and then a couple of us as land there.
And Capitan is medic.
Yes.
Oh.
He has some medical equipment for doing amputations.
Oh.
I'll show you them over there.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Let's go there as well. Oh, so his rank is captain, then.
Are you a captain?
So you are the captain,
The
officers.
officer.
I'm an officer, a medical officer.
Oh,
but in
okay.
the French army and the Westphalian army, you had a separate rank structure for the military officers and the
medical
ones.
officers, yeah.
So you could be a surgeon first rate would be the chief medical officer in a regiment.
Okay.
But he didn't really have authority over the soldiers.
Okay.
And more people died of sickness in the army than of wounds in battle.
Okay. So what is this one actually?
That's chamomile tea.
Okay.
It was very popular for if you had indigestion, stomach aches or headaches, you would be given an infusion of tea. There's all my tools in here. This is for amputations.
Oh my God! That's the real.
Yeah. If you were going to cut an arm
Yeah.
off, you wouldn't just use a saw. You would start off with a knife like this,
Okay.
and you would cut, and because it's curved, you would cut around
Oh.
and around on both sides to go through the muscle and the flesh.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
you would
and
use the
the-
saw to
Yeah.
go through with the saw. A lot of people think you cut like this.
Yeah.
You don't. You only cut one direction because this is cleaner and the bone will splinter into pieces. And if you're cutting one way, the splinters will come out. And you could go through a bone in about 3 cuts like that.
Oh, so that
Yeah.
that fast then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got-
Oh, and that's real.
This is a scalpel,
Okay.
just for small cuts. And this is a probe. There were different probes. If you'd been shot, you would put this into the wound and try to find where the bullet had gone.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
hopefully it had gone all the way through, but
yeah.
bullets didn't often break bones.
Yeah.
If they hit a bone, they'd usually lost some of their power, and the bullet would quite often hit the bone and just move, so it would deflect into one side, and you would find where the bullet was with one of these.
Okay.
So how often would soldiers be amputated?
Whenever that's war goes and somebody shot and that's not,
Yeah.
that's not about to heal.
Any sort of bad wound where the muscle was mangled, that would probably get infected. And it was a famous French surgeon called Larrey. He was the chief surgeon to the Imperial Guard, and he's thought of as one of the best doctors and medics at the time. And he came up with he invented the ambulance. In English, the word ambulance is French, and it comes from his invention. Previously, if you're wounded on the battlefield, you would probably just lie on the field wounded if you couldn't get up until maybe a day later, maybe 2 days. But
If you're lucky,
there'll
you
be a
don't
hospital
die.
about
Yeah.
a mile away behind the battlefield.
Yeah.
But the ambulance was usually 2 horses and 2 wheels. You could get 4 men in it, and they would be evacuated from the battlefield to the hospital. And it was quite sophisticated. It had springs in the bottom to give it, I've forgotten the word, you get it in cars, to give it
Suspension.
traction. Yeah, suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hydraulic
So
suspension.
you wouldn't be
or-
shaken around.
Yeah.
And he also believed that you should be treated how badly your wounds are first. So if you were French or
Yeah.
Russian, Italian, German, it didn't matter. Or it didn't matter if you were a captain or a general or a soldier. The
Triage.
people who were badly wounded would be treated first.
ABCD.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
airway, breathing,
Yeah.
circulation, and
The Romans
Yeah.
had done that, but then it was abandoned for years until the French reintroduced the concept. And a lot of people didn't like it. Even some of the French generals didn't like the fact that if they were wounded, someone else would be treated first.
yeah.
So
That's still now same thing happens now.
yeah,
That's you have to be treated like how severe you are, because that's it doesn't matter, you are just because that's Geneva Convention, whoever injured, they need to be treated, and then that'll be prioritized by the severity of injury.
this here is an original model
Tourniquet.
tourniquet.
Okay.
If you're wounded, you put that.
Oh.
Opium. They did
Oh.
have opium to a
Yeah.
degree, and you would make laudanum
Okay.
out of opium. But laudanum is a catch-all phrase for a lot of different drinks. One of them, you had a pint of red wine,
Yeah.
then you put in a shot of brandy, and then you would add a spoon of opium and mix that,
spoon?
and you would, a small spoon, but
Yeah.
still you would drink that, and you would be so out of it, so shattered. That's when you would do an operation.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough. You would only have that if you were in a lot of armies, if you were rich, you
Okay.
would have that. The
Ah.
average soldier would not.
Okay.
So he might get some rum or something like that.
Yeah.
So what else you have on your medication things, please?
This is quinine, Jesuit's bark. It's from South America, and this was really the only effective medicine they had for fevers or
Oh.
malaria,
Okay.
anything like that. And called Jesuit's bark because it was discovered by missionaries. But it became very expensive in Europe because of the Royal Navy was stopping a lot of ships coming across from South America. And if it French, Dutch, Italian, any of those ships would be stopped. So it's very expensive to find. And again, most soldiers wouldn't have had that. And that's camphor. This is good for burns, if your skin is burnt or you have skin conditions.
That will make cool, isn't it?
Yeah, also if you have breathing trouble, they would mix it with honey and put it on your chest.
That's
Help breathing.
not for eat, isn't it? That's for just
Yeah.
apply.
This is hyssop, that's a herb. That's good for indigestion and anything to do any stomach aches. That's what I've got in here, right? Yeah, there's more quinine. Oh, and black pepper, which was also used to put in honey, which will be heated up if you have a fever or
cough.
breathing trouble.
Okay.
But some of the ideas, as I say, went back to the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans, and they hadn't really changed. Even though some of it was known to be wrong, such as there was a famous Roman called Galen, one of the most famous Roman physicians. And in Rome at the time, you couldn't do autopsies. So he wrote lots of medical books, and he'd cut open dogs and monkeys and used those to make medical notes about people, including saying, oh, people have 12 vertebrae in the spine. It's like, no, they don't. That's monkeys. And this was still being taught 200 years ago.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Captain, for your information. Thank you so much. Medical Captain, Prince Camp's medical captain.
When they were on campaign, they would carry
Individual
all
or
the kit they would have with them. The French army soldiers would carry within a squad of usually an ordinary of 10 men. One of them would be carrying a pan, something that kind of size. Yeah. Another one would have the lid for it, which was actually like a frying pan for cooking the meat. And they made open fires and they cooked using that. Yeah. We obviously carry a lot more stuff, and these metal grills are raised more for safety reasons.
okay.
But they're reasonably authentic. Anyway,
Like if that is war should be like they'll be there, enemies are there, we are there, they know each other location. I
you
think.
usually know where the enemy was by their campfires. Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy, isn't it? Because you can smell and at night time you can see
the army would
light.
have their pickets out, the sentries.
Oh yeah. So that was a challenge. Like I'm here anyway. If you want to come.
But often, but especially between the French and the British, they were quite often friendly. The pickets.
Yeah.
You would have a soldier on this side.
Yeah.
You'd be the soldier on that
Yeah.
side, and you'd be like this, and then you would go. Yes. Have you got any drink? I'll give you some tobacco for a drink, and you'd swap. And you wouldn't really want to fight the pickets. But quite often they didn't really have tents.
Okay.
Because the French army in particular, around the earlier period, Austerlitz and that, they were very quick at marching. And you just can't carry all this and move quickly.
Yeah.
It'd be too slow.
Yeah.
So
true.
they would sleep out in the open most of the time.
So what about this? This is all waterproof or?
Yes, it's all waterproof canvas.
So when the canvas gets wet.
Oh yeah, that blocks water. Yeah, that blocks. Yeah.
Very quickly.
Okay.
So
And
it's much heavier than
So
lightweight modern stuff. But
those things used to be carried by person, like each individual,
Tents like this would go in a wagon. pulled by
wagon,
horses,
isn't it? Yeah, that definitely.
But the French army, famously, Napoleonic tactics was all about speed of manoeuvre. So the baggage train with the tents was usually hundreds, or many 20, 50 miles behind, trying to keep up. And the men bivouacked. They slept with their greatcoats over them, and they were a tough breed back then.
Okay. यहाँ चिन्डोमा पानी लगाएको छ. Let's go to other camps now.
Of the Whirl Wagon train and the 71st Highland Light Infantry.
Okay, so this is a cooking area, or what's this one?
Yeah.
So this is a kitchen or like a cookhouse, or what's this one actually?
Yeah, this is basically our cookhouse.
Cookhouse. Centralized cooking that time then?
No. Some one man would get one big kettle. Well, 6 men would get one kettle to cook between them.
Okay.
Some of them might, 3 or 4 groups of 6 might club together.
Okay. So what are we cooking here? Like for 6 men or?
This is for everybody here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the real cooking, isn't it?
Yeah, that's SRT.
Okay, and then the stew as well.
Yes.
Wow. It's real.
Yeah, real.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's check around here. Okay, this is a bed then. Okay, it's like that's a modern bed anyway. That's a real cooking, tea. Looks lovely. Look at that. This wooden plates, washing area, preparation area, round tents. This is beautiful, that isn't it? Okay. This weapon cleaning is going on here. Weapon cleaning.
Hello.
Wow. Look at that. So that all barrel comes out like that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guns all strip apart.
Okay. So what wood is this one? Maybe that's very strong wood, isn't it? Any idea?
Fine, Dave? Dave, what's the stock made of? Wood-wise?
Walnut, it should be.
Walnut.
It should be walnut.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we'll start cleaning it all up. So as soon as that kettle's full, we'll boil out that one.
Yeah.
Start checking out the bits.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
get this thing to tip-top shape.
Look at that mocks. My God. They last long, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as you don't throw them around, they bend easily.
Okay.
Hence why it looks like a 50p piece.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, look at that. Looks delicious. Look at that. Oh my God! Look at that. Under just kitchen preparation area and this, that table. Oh.
Well, mind you, if we're going to the petrol station, we'll walk past. It'd be good one day to do a proper like video event. Video, photo video.
ओके आजको यो क्याम्प भिजिटबाट अब भने हामी बिदा चाहन्छौँ थ्याङ्क यू फर वाचिङ बाई बाई